presentations, these people tell us, yeah, technology here and there, and they show us all these great slides, and they talk about all these great websites and all these things that are out there for us, but no one ever talks and shows you guys how to use them, how to apply them in your classroom. All right, so Animoto, if you guys have probably heard of Animoto, the problem is I don't know if anybody's actually seen this put in action. The haiku, you guys can use this right here. I have the haiku set for English, 7th grade. You guys have to make haikus. Well, here's the way that the students can actually come up with their own haiku and put it into a video. Alamo, this is for history. I was going to say social studies, but history. The kids had to come up with these posters, wanted posters. They're going to make whatever papers. Have them come up with a little video right here of it. And what this allows, it also allows for you to not have to worry about them getting out and giving their presentation and taking time and messing up and fumbling around. If they have if everybody does their haikus and they're all submitted to you, you can run through about 30 haikus in 15 minutes. All right, and I have does it work, and then how do you do that? All right, so I'm actually going to exit out of that. I've got this one right here. This one I made the other day in between classes when the kids were taking a test. What this is acts like, you guys ever seen a slideshow for like an anniversary or something, or a birthday or a party? To actually take the music and make it match up with the transition, it's really hard to do. You don't have to worry about that. Animoto does it all. All you guys need to really do is come up with your own pictures and your own words, and it does everything for you. All right, so that one's that. Here's the one with the, and I don't know if this is all correct. I had the kids help me with it. So this is the Alamo. This is what they came up with. I gave you a few facts. Everything you guys see, the kids help me with, and it doesn't take very long. You guys can put pictures in there. You guys can put video clips in there.
So those pictures are pictures that got entered into it?
Yeah, these are pictures I found on Google. And the words are words that I put in. Now,
it's only 30 seconds, right?
No, not really. I'm going to get to that here in a minute. Does it work? This was the very first time I had heard about it. We did iPods in class, and I made this as kind of a little goof to see what it would do. I made it 16 days ago, and there's been 139 views on it. And that's like a 28K class. I found out through my kids that they actually are sharing this on Facebook. Like, they are posting it. Imagine if they had created it and they would take ownership of it, how much more powerful it would actually be. Back to the PowerPoint slide. How'd you do that? How'd you do that? Well, if you click on the how do you do that link, it actually takes you to this YouTube channel that I created. What I want to do is I want to come up with these videos that show you guys how to do this stuff. So this right here is actually me sitting down talking at my screen on how I made this video. So I'm going to just let it play for a second to see if you guys can't hear me. Alright, so you can't hear me. When you go to Animoto.com, down here in the bottom of the screen it says educational account. If you guys sign up for an educational account, you guys enter your school's email address and your web page, and it takes about 8 days for them to get back and say that you have an account, and it lasts for 180 days. Everybody can use this for whatever they wanted to do with it. The kids can have their own account. You guys can share. Basically, you guys have different choices as to which one of these slideshows do you want to use. Pros are for those that want to upgrade. Right here, I already went through Google. It's going to show you that here in a minute. I went to Google and I wanted to introduce to my kids parallel lines. So I went to Google and typed in parallel lines, and these are the images that came up. All I did is right-click on them and hit save to my desktop. And that's how I got all those there. Here in a moment, it's going to actually show you guys how to take those images and load them up. So I just hit upload, and it just goes through and it finds them all. You go through and I just highlight all the pictures that I want. You guys can put video clips in there, and it will do the sound from the video clip. If you guys want to do 5 to 8 second video clips, if you have the educator account, it can go full-length videos. It doesn't have to be a 30-second clip. But I find that for doing an introduction for like a hook, or if the kids are doing something, 30 seconds is a really, really long time. After you guys pick up all the images you want to put in there, you don't need any more between 10 to 15 images. Down here in the bottom, when I go through, there's a box for text where you guys can actually enter in the text, and that's how I entered in like Alamo 1863. So this right here is a tutorial video to show you guys how to actually set up the slideshow. So that's me right there picking up, typing in text. After you get done taking the text, you guys can enter in music. Either you guys can upload music that you guys have on your computer, or you can just pick up whatever music they have in stock. After you pick out the music, you guys hit submit, and then you walk away. It'll email you when it's done. After it's already come up with everything, and if you don't like the order of it, if you don't like it, you just hit reshuffle, and we'll do the whole thing all over again. So no two ones are unique. They're unique. There's no two that are the same. After you guys get done, you can share it on Facebook. Here's another thing right here. I had these up. Sign generators. These are really cool to use. The kids can actually use them. I did this one right here. I had Patrick up for my second period class the other day. And on Friday, the kids just ran rave when they walked in the door. And rather than having on the board what the assignment for the, like what you're getting ready to do, have one of these guys up here. And it takes literally seconds to make. Once again, these are all clickable. So if you wanted to click on it, it would actually take you to this website. All right, so right here, you guys can pick different characters from, Dr. Seuss, Scooby-Doo, SpongeBob. You guys can put stuff on cars, on billboards. This stuff, there's just lots of these right here.
What is that?
Yes. What is that?
It's in the website, guys. It'll pop up. You click on this, and it'll take you there to it. And all it is at the bottom, you're going to type in what you want it to say, and it generates everything for you. So there's no work. On everything I show you, it's all free, and there's minimal work to you guys. Real minimal work. If you guys want to do Daphne or a Stuffed Man, Miss Houston's got Act 2 night coming up, so she can throw this right here into the thing that scrolls on the TV. So, if you want to do it, you just click on her, and she'll take you to the next thing. This one right here is a different kind of sign generator. You guys, I try and do PowerPoints for my classes. They're going to pay attention to my objective if I put it in this thing rather than if I have it on the board, because they're going to look at that. They're not going to look at my board. My handwriting's atrocious. You guys can make signs. At the end of your presentation, tell them what's your homework going to be. Make sure they ate their Cheerios. All right, now I found this because I wanted to do this. I have a really hard time picking on kids because I end up picking on the same kids. And kids kind of get that. If you're paying attention, you're not acting up, you're not going to get called on. Well, this right here is a random name selector. If you guys click on random name selector, it'll take you to this website. And the way this works, if you guys want to see, this is the other thing for the objectives. You guys can intermix them together. Random name generator. You guys can have you can export to Excel file from your Skyward account and then take those names and cut and paste them onto here. And here's everybody's names in your class. And this forces them to pay attention. And which one is it? Oh, Charlie Brown. So you can ask a question, then you guys can hit Fruit Machine, and it will spin through it. And it could be Charlie Brown again. You don't know. So this right here is something that actually will help get the kids to help pay attention. This is something I just found. To your Skyward account, you can export each class period, and they come out as an Excel. Copy those two, save them on a Word document, have it on your screen, throw them in every class period. It won't save it, but you can save the names, and you can just copy and paste every day. So this right here is something you guys can do to help random name generator. I like that. All right. You can do whatever you want with these things. You're not limited, Tag and hand these out. You can make them whatever size, print them off. This right here is a regular piece of cardstock, yellow. I just print it on it. All right, so I can type in what I want it to say, and I can pick the card. So right here, you guys type in your message. Not hello. And you hit customize card, and there it is. It'll say hello. I can pick the different kind of characters where he's riding the train, and I can go through and I can pick the different size font, and it will change it. You just right click, and I have video on how to do all this stuff, so that you guys don't have to worry about. I actually made this one right here for my tutorial pass. I put it on cardstock. It came out wonderful. The kids they're not going to lose that. It's just something different. It's something different that they're not used to seeing. Something to help out, get a little hook. And then this right here is for whoever's smarter than me and funnier than me. I can't think of the clever things to say on these. But if the English or the science or history, if you guys are ever trying to come up with something, the kids can come up with the captions. You guys, all this stuff right here, I put them where I wanted to. This is a free website. The kids love it because they're comic book characters. You guys can pick which characters you want. You want the Incredible Hulk, you want Iron Man, you want Silver Surfer. They'll do them. And then this right here, that's also another free one. You guys can email it to people. You can embed it. You can do it on Facebook. I've shared a couple of these things I made. The kids that came in, and I had one where it was this guy right here set up, and he was worried, he was nervous, and he was excited and said, "Are you ready? You know, it's Monday again. I hope Mr. G doesn't have a test." And then it said, "Oh my God, I bet he will have a test." And then this one was like, "Yay, I'm ready for the test because I studied." And the kids read it and they go, "Haha, not funny. We have a test." It was a pop quiz I had set up, but it was just something to get their attention.
We are the very best.
The very best in BISD.
Right.
All right, so
I like that poster. That's excellent.
motivational posters. I've done a couple of these different kind of movie posters and motivational posters where I'll take the top kids in my class and I'll put their picture in the movie poster or motivational poster, and I'll come up with some catchphrase or caption. And I do these as like a reward at the end of the 6 weeks or the 3rd weeks or something. Whatever you guys come up with, if you want to use that for like SAT words, I don't know if 8th grade gets into SAT words, or if you guys have like spelling words and they got to come up with like their own way of saying it, come up with a picture for it. And then the last one. All right, so this blog is what I started so that you guys can use technology in the classroom. Not all technology has to be high tech. It can also be low tech and middle tech. I want people to come to this website and take ideas. If you click on that right there, it'll take you to my blog, which I'm still learning how to do this, and it has the whole setup. I have, what you guys have seen in this slide right here is probably about 1/10 of what I have available. And I didn't want to give it all to you guys right now because it would just be like sensory overload. And the reason it's not on the blog right now is because if I put it all out there right now, I don't have stuff to keep updating. So my goal is to eventually add 1 or 2 things a week for the entire school year. And I'm not saying you guys have to grab everything and use everything, but if there's anything on there that you guys like, you guys can type in your email right here, and every time I update it, it'll bring you guys to my website. Now, at the end, she talked about taking one thing that you guys have in your curriculum and making it Web 2.0. If you guys have ever heard of text team stuff, the geometry doesn't have a scope and sequence. So they're using a lot of text team activities. Well, I found a text team activity where they were given a map, and they had to go from one city to the other city, and they had to figure out the distance formula, use the midpoint formula, and figure out what was in between or what cities were around the midpoints. And they had to talk about if they went to that city, what kind of stuff they would eat. And that was basically like not very fun for me. This summer I came up with a lot of ways to utilize the technology that Mary has in the library, such as the digital cameras, the video cams. We have GPS units. So I wanted to come up with these cool ideas. And I came up with an iPad lesson where the kids actually had to do the exact same thing they had to on the text team. But on the text team, it was a project, which means if they got it wrong, it counted against them. I still counted it as a test grade. It was still a project for my kids, but they were forced to get it right. Built into it was all that stuff that we've been learning about. They're protected from adverse consequences for initial failure. If they came up with the wrong coordinates, if they type the coordinates in, and Google Earth will take them to that spot on Earth, if they didn't see something cool, if they're in the middle of the ocean, they knew right away they were wrong. So they had to go back and they had to rework their problem. Students know they have the incorrect one right there. Right is right. And basically, this lesson right here, in my opinion, is really good because it forces them to be correct. It forces them to do the extra work. And here's why they want to actually do it, because when they get done, when they find the right spot on Google Earth, these are the kind of things that you can see. This is actually real. That's real. That's real. That's real. That's real. And this is all things that you guys can see on Google Earth. And I made those my endpoints. I made those my midpoints. So rather than talk about some cheesy town in France, they actually got to see something cool. And if their curiosity was kind of piqued on this, they went back later on and looked it up. Or if they're on the Apple iPad, they can do this with a regular Google Earth on a PC. You don't have to have an iPad. It has those little wiki things you can link on them, and they can actually find out more stuff about it. So this is kind of what I do. This is kind of what I'm into, and I'm trying to figure out ways to bring it to my classroom. And I'm trying to put them on my blog. I know that you guys have some really cool ideas, and I want to get those ideas from you guys and post them to where everything that is on a centralized location. So that's my little spiel.
That's great. Great.